When everything's going out of control and you don't know what to do, just give them the Furley, Fucking-
Ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. Coming at you live with a brand new edition of Rocker Reactions.
Oh,
Oh! Wow! I am excited to be back. We have missed every one of your faces. My name is Cody Walker.
my name is Ralph Busso, and trust me when I say this one's gonna sting. Just a little bit, just a hair, When everything's going out of control and you don't know what to do, just give them the Furley, Nobody's going to understand that joke except for us. But anyways,
Give him the Furley.
give them the Furley.
Give him the Furley.
That's all I got to tell you. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, not much. I'm Mike Aronovitz. I'm feeling really fucking stung right now.
Why? Because you got the Furley?
Yeah, I guess whatever. Should I make a face?
Yeah.
Is that what we do?
That's blue steel. That's like...
Yeah, and I'm glad to be back to do some rocker reactions. Oh, he's bringing in the toy. Look out.
All right, we're getting silly today.
Anyways.
Hey.
Jack always has to make an appearance.
Oh, he does. Jack Torrance, he killed his whole family. I mean, he has to make an appearance. Well, he didn't kill his whole family, but he tried to.
Yeah.
No, the hero of that scenario is the green animal beneath Jack Torrance. Without a doubt.
Battle Cat. Absolutely.
Yep. Battle Cat.
Battle Cat. He's the man. He's the myth. So what are we doing today, gentlemen?
Well, you guys kind of gave me the green light to do Nightwish. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm a college professor, so I'm constantly in contact with, and I teach mostly freshmen. So I'm in contact with, people who are 18, 19 years old. So I get to hear, oh, I like Taylor Swift. And there's too many of them, right? Can't even get a fucking ticket.
Hey, come on, man. Shake it off. It's all good.
But I also have, some students that are into heavy metal. And so I learned all about Black Veil Brides. I didn't know anything about them. And now all of a sudden I do, and I really like them.
Nice.
But my two favorite bands when I was growing up were Queen and Rush. And both of them are known for being really precise, really different, sometimes using mixed meter time signatures, and everything is a show. Freddie Mercury never thought that he was a rock singer. He thought he was a performer, and better than Broadway, better than anything you'd ever see. So I had heard kind of around in the background about Nightwish. I just heard that name over and over again. And finally, I caved and I watched what we're going to watch today. And it's them. I believe it's in 2013. They're live at the Wacken Festival, truly live. It's not one of these things where they just put together a compilation of video clips from shows and then play the studio version. This is truly live. And the thing that amazed me the most is I was hooked from the beginning from a music standpoint and also a video standpoint. It's incredibly well shot. And then when the singer came in, my heart fucking swelled. I've never seen anything like her. And I wanted to share them with you because you're my reaction video buddies, man. You've got to check this out.
I'm excited to see this one because I used to follow Nightwish quite a bit when their previous singer was fronting the band. When I can't even remember how to pronounce her name. Is it Taja? I can't remember. But when the very operatic singer. And I'm not really familiar with Floor's work. Not because I took sides and stopped listening. I just kind of fell out of listening to them and started other things. And so I'm not familiar. I'm actually very interested to see how different they sound.
Yeah, it's interesting, Cody, because they have a ton of people reacting to them. They even
Mhm.
broke a record somewhere, and many of them really feel attached to the old singer. And they use this whack-in performance sort of as the audition into their personal catalog in their head,
Mhm.
and then on their Spotify lists. And just look at the audition she gives. That's all I'm saying.
Hell yeah. Shall we get into it?
So this is the new singer.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Not the new.
new in the sense the most. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Most recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, my wife loves this band, so I'm not gonna lie. I probably heard them and didn't really get like into them, but who knows? This might change my mind. Let's check it out.
Let's
Yeah,
check
let's
it.
roll.
Crowd surf. Nice.
That's an odd time signature, man.
Oh, I like that.
Enter guitar.
Yes.
So far, quite the display.
Yeah, visually it's freaking awesome.
And it's majestic.
Oh, I like that.
Here
Yeah.
they go to their 4/4 so the singer can come in.
Oh, wow. Yes, sir. Okay.
Here, just stop for a second.
Wow.
You tell me right now you're not in love. I mean, she just makes your heart fucking burst, doesn't she?
Well,
All
it's
emotion.
a very European sound. Very European sound. You have to be into that sound in order to appreciate it. I like it. I do. I can't take away from it. I think she's got a great voice. This is not my preferred genre. I'll be honest with you, but it definitely, this is powerful. I can't take away from it at all. I would never try.
When I was younger, I always started really getting into the idea of, like, you know, the classical music ideas mixed with contemporary metal and stuff like that, you know. And so now I've loved progressive, and I love, you know, Nightwish. This is very right up my alley. And she is a phenomenal vocalist.
Mhm.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
this is
actually
live, like you said.
interested.
This isn't the recording. She's standing on stage belting this to this crowd.
Mhm. You know, wearing a short skirt, doing her thing. And you know what? I want to tell you, she looks so relaxed. And I'm not a professional vocalist like Ralph. You know what I mean? But I don't have to be a pro to be able to notice how many different voices she uses throughout the progression of this thing. I mean, I don't know all the terms like the open head voice and the chest voice and all
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but she has this rare ability to go from one of those types of voices to the other, like even in the same like musical phrase or line. And I just find her to be incredible.
I fuck. I'm liking the way she sounds.
And
man.
what I like about it too is when you hear the riff that comes in and you hear the strings in the back
Yeah.
and the way they've orchestrated
Yes.
it. Your
Mhm.
brain, if you don't know who it is, your brain could go either way and go, it could be a operatic voice or a really high, nice voice, or that could have gone death metal real quick.
Yeah,
Like
it's really well
I
done
like
so
the
far.
change,
What I've
like, you
seen.
know, her
This
voice
is the
is
first time me seeing this, but
yeah,
it's really well done so far,
Yeah.
guys. I think.
it looks phenomenal too. Like their stage
Yeah.
setup is cool.
Yeah,
What
and
do you know
in
what they call that, Cody? Sorry, Mike. Do you know what they call that organ that he's playing?
it looks medieval.
Yeah,
with
it
all
looks
the
like
pipes,
it looks like a pipe
It's
organ. Yeah,
crazy. Just a pipe organ.
yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
probably I would assume what we were looking at was probably just stage flare, and it was a keyboard of some sort. Which I mean, nothing wrong with it. It looks fucking cool. But if it's
Yeah.
real, it's some sort of pipe organ.
Pretty badass.
You want to be like
Okay.
Phantom of the Opera type.
I know, no shit. It's like pretty, pretty crazy. That's what I thought of. All right, well, let's continue.
Let's go.
I'm intrigued now.
I like how the bass is just driving.
All right. Picking up on.
Good God.
I mean, she puts the vibrato on in the perfect place. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Siren from the deep came to me, sang my name, my Lord.
The drummer is into it.
Still I write my songs about the dream of mine, worth everything I may ever be.
His fills are really simplistic and just back her really well.
I love that bass tone too.
I mean, it seems like this whacking crowd is all Nightwish fans.
I think they are. It's kind of a magical moment.
All right, people, don't yell at me. We'll get into the solo full on. I'm curious to know, and I mean, I'm sure people know, but at what point in the set was this song? Do you know?
I don't. I've seen other songs from that set, and they're all good.
Do you know if this was the first song?
I don't know.
Okay.
If I was going to take a guess, I think it was the last.
I'm just like, if she's been doing this for, an hour plus for a show at any point and still has that control, and she's effortless with, when she sings, you can just see she's got it.
She has real dynamics. I mean, she's doing the soft stuff now, which I think is harder. I mean, I remember back in my band, the hardest thing to do was go soft, because when you go harder, you hear it in your ear better. And we were crazy. We had a loud stage volume. We were stupid. But I mean, here, she must hear everything just perfect. And she's like doing this soft stuff, just laying the way for the second part of the song.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is I think for singers is, especially in these genres, hard rock, heavy metal, metalcore, or whatever you want to call it, switching back and forth is the biggest thing, because as a guitar player, Cody, it's hard enough when you've got pedals to switch, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at least those are already something. Don't get me wrong, something can go wrong. Your pedal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's mechanical. You hit the
Sound
button
issues,
and
but it's
yeah.
still mechanical. Where it comes to the vocals, it's like, man, switching back and forth between the screams and the growls and the melodic singing and the mid-aggressive range. You know, David Draymond does a lot of all of that. And you know, you can ask him how hard is it to maintain that?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a lot of my heroes in this industry, in this genre, have had to have vocal surgery and stuff like that. And, you know, they've gone through a lot of problems because they've burnt out their voices, they've blown them out.
Mhm.
I
It-
always wondered about that, Ralph. I always wondered, people who do screams, you have to, if you're going to do that a lot, I would imagine that you would have to go to a vocal coach. I mean,
Yes,
Tommy
you have to at
Kiefer,
least learn.
yeah, Tommy Kiefer, the lead singer in Cinderella, their lead guitar player Jeff Labar died recently, but they came from my hometown. They were one town away in Media, and all you hear about, I mean, he sounds a little bit like the old AC/DC with the falsetto, you know, scream. He was in and out of surgery all through his career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In and out of surgery all through his career, because a lot of people don't realize how difficult it is to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Ralph, I know you know how to do all of it. You know how to do a scream and a couple of registers. You know how to do the traditional vocal where it's a real belt. And you also know how to do a very melodic vocal. So if there's anybody that would be able to watch this, you know, objectively and just look at her technique, just friggin' amazing to me.
Yes, and I also understand the development of falsetto, because falsetto it plays a huge part in a lot of music. You know what I mean? No matter the genre. And what you have to do is develop the ability to do falsetto loudly. And much like the screams, you have to develop it to the point where it sounds good, but you let the microphone do the heavy lifting. You know what I mean? So that's a part of all of it with falsetto and the screaming. You know, I've definitely done my share of research. I've definitely gone to trainers and teachers for vocal training. The biggest thing is, if you don't use it, you lose it. And also, warming up prior is important to find your place.
Right.
Yo,
You-
Ralph, I would be so curious to see what her warm up was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to, she probably has an hour or more.
That long?
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably.
wow.
I'm guessing she uses a bunch of different you know, lubricating factors to just like open up her vocal cords, and then she does the warm-ups, and she has to do like probably half an hour to more of warm-ups, and then she probably has to sing for about half an hour to get her warmed up. It's just like a car.
To be able to do that,
You
I mean,
know?
she's in game form,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Well, when you
And-
listen
and-
to her in this video, she hits notes, but you can hear she's got plenty more behind it. She's
Yeah.
putting that where
Yeah.
she wants it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the beginning part of this, because it's so powerful to me, because she goes so soft.
Mhm.
You know, especially after the first couple of verses, that little part she just did right before the solo, it's so soft that it's almost too soft. And like, how can she possibly do it? How could she have that control? Oh, and I wanted to point something out. Like, I'm more a fan. Remember, I forget who we were doing. Maybe it was Love Bites. And
Mhm.
Ralph said that some guitar players are really into the bee in the bonnet kind of thing, like, blah, 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 like that. I like both. I like the melodic solos too.
Yeah.
And this guy in the part we're going to get to right now, he plays it the same every night. And the way you know is the audience is singing it with him. You know,
Oh, really?
wouldn't you love
That's
to have a
cool.
little melodic solo it's not a difficult scale, it's easy to execute, but when you play it, people are getting such joy because they can sing with every
Yeah,
note.
yeah.
And that's a real vote for that side of it. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
For
Yeah.
melodic solos.
Well,
Totally cool.
Let's check that solo out. Let's get into the solo sections. Pretty guitar too.
What's he doing with his top hand there, Cody?
Honestly,
Did you see him
hang on,
like-
hang on, hang on. Honestly, I think he's just deadening the string to make
He's
sure it didn't
deadening
ring.
the ones on top.
That's what it looked like.
Now, guys, I'd like to know your opinion of this after this section. They do nothing. Like it's an interlude or something.
Dramatic pause.
I love that they show the microphone by itself, isolated, nobody behind it.
See, I live for this shit, like this kind of artistic, chill, do your thing kind of stuff. I won't say who it is. Ralph will get it, but I know two gentlemen who would be going out of their minds right now. Oh, if this was on a stage.
I mean, the suspense is killing me, and I've
Yeah.
seen this video about 1,000 times. Here comes big old drummer.
Yes.
I like that.
Hell yeah. Hell yes.
Key changes are great.
Yes.
Adoring beast.
That's fucking cool.
That's cool. Right there.
I like her hip sways too, man.
Oh. Nice.
Yes.
A lot of people are into it.
I like that.
Pyrotechnics are great.
Oh my god. control right there.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my god. Get
Very nice,
out
man.
of here.
Very nice, Malad. That was cool, dude. Honestly, you know what? They remind me a little bit of a mix between maybe like an Iron Maiden and a little bit of an Evanescence. Um, uh, I don't know. There's other traits in there that I appreciate, and it's very, artistic, and I love the way they do it. It's funny how that works, huh? Um, Americans like more pop and hip hop, but the Europeans love the metal and they love the progressive stuff, and and those awesome stop times and the fucking fireworks.
So
But I
good.
mean, it's all kind of tied together, isn't it? Because if you watch a show with Beyonce or somebody like that, and you watch a show with these guys, you're going to get the same magic. But the difference is it's a different flavor of
Mhm.
magic.
Yeah, I like the way, Ralph, that they were doing those difficult time signatures, and I'm not really great at math, but it was like 5/6 time and 7/8 time and all this stuff. But within that, the changes were spot on, but they were very like the beat was very simplistic. He never did like a fill where he did anything really difficult. Now the double bass was really good, and he was really on point. But you know what's funny? Like this got me sort of into symphonic metal. And I asked
Mm.
one of my students to give me like the 30 best. And I went and I watched all their videos. And some of them, when they mix the metal sound with the operatic sound, it sounds hokey.
Mhm.
The thing about this video that I like so much is it looks like they were born to go together, and it brought me into a new thing. I was the same as you, Ralph. I was like symphonic metal, opera. The only opera I ever liked was the Queen version, and they're really doing a parody of opera.
Yeah.
And this was the first singer like that that really like took me into a new thing. I just thought it was like really cool. Uh, and
Yeah.
and I haven't really gone like ape shit with it. I've listened. I have a couple of other symphonic metal bands that I like, but my heart is with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal band. Even after all these years, they're just great. They like every song they've always done. It feels like they've taken you on a journey. Doesn't matter how long the track is. It always they've got leaps and ups and downs, and there's always expression. Her vocals are perfect for this band. It's just so good.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I listen to music for escape. And I don't know if this is like a mental thing because I know I'm mentally fucked up anyway, but I see music as much as I hear it.
Mhm.
And when I have a video, I'm not always looking at the video. I'm seeing like images in my head. And the best music makes me forget that I'm listening to music. And they make me feel like I'm seeing like a damn good like Netflix episode. This one, especially when they came out of that long interlude and they like the keyboard line that's going behind it, I almost felt like I was in a movie. I almost felt like I was a superhero in a movie like Lord of the Rings, like on steroids, right?
It definitely has that flavor to it. You know, one of my wife's favorite bands is Lacuna Coil, but she loves this band as well. And I think that I can see why. I can see the comparison. However, I do think these guys have a little bit more of a symphonic metal feel, and I do think it's a little bit more epic on some levels.
Yeah.
But what I do think the difference that people will see between those two bands is that one of them is more epic versus the one that is a little bit more mainstream. And even though it's, you know, it's got that universal feel of not being American made, it still has you know, the European values, but it's not. I don't know how to explain it. It's just that there's certain things that these guys do that Lacuna Coil doesn't. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. She's from Finland, by the way.
Oh, is she? Okay.
And that's one of the places I want to go. I want to visit. Like someday I want to go to Amsterdam. Someday I want to go to Paris because I've never been there. But I also want to go to Finland and Greenland, just for the difference in culture.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of what Ralph is for the flavor,
right?
Because that's what you're referring to.
Yes, absolutely. The flavor, there's definitely a difference. You know what I mean? You can tell it's not major, but it's there, you know? And so I don't know. What do you guys think?
I know that a lot of reaction videos I've watched about her are like voice teachers, and they start out like all like kind of hoity-toity, like, yes, I'm the voice teacher. And about 30 seconds into listening to her, they're just looking like how the fuck does she make those changes? Because it's almost like a different singer at the end.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
She's really good, man.
Well, that's why I was taken back by it's like, yeah, she has a phenomenal voice, the control, the breath, it's all there. So if this was the end of the show, you know, to have gone, like I said, even if it was 3 songs in, it's just there's a lot to that song to perform. And if it ain't the first song, she's already been performing. So
somebody's got to let us know in the comments.
Yes,
because I believe that I heard somebody talking about it. Sorry about that, guys. My phone is going.
You're fine, dude.
But like in the comments, I'm almost sure that was the last.
Phenomenal talent from everybody on that stage. I mean, the stop times were tight. They, you know, that was just synced silence, you know, as I like to think of it.
And the audience was also like, I loved it that there's one shot of a young girl, and she's up on somebody's shoulders, and she's literally going like this as if she's a band conductor.
Yeah.
And that audience knew every break, they knew every pause, they knew every mixed meter change. So you better get it right, because you have 80,000 people like directing you, like fucking Yannick in front of the, you know, Philadelphia fucking orchestra. You know what I mean? It lets everybody in the audience be a conductor.
Yeah. And
it lets every one of them get familiar with a mixed meter time, which is very rare. For something to do that. I mean, usually bands that do mixed meter, it's only in phrases that are in between the vocal. And in this one, she was singing along with some of them. In the end, when the pyrotechnics were doing this, those big gas powered ones, when she's going, I mean, she's doing mixed meters, opera singing, and everybody knows. I love it when there's a band that gives you like a red carpet into something you ordinarily would say, I can't learn that. It's too hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I always like rock. It brought me into something so cool that my parents didn't understand, and it let me feel like I was a part of it. These guys make me feel like I'm a part of musical genius, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
Well,
fucking emotional.
They're a fucking amazing band, dude.
There was a scene where there was a little small clip and some lady was drawing her eye.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
without a doubt.
you know what I
Ralph,
mean?
there was a girl with her hands up like this, and she was like, oh, it was like she was having a religious experience and
Yeah.
she was gonna fucking faint.
Yeah.
And Ralph, you're absolutely right. In some of their other videos, they clearly have female audience members wiping their eyes because they feel like they're seeing something almost like they've gone on a religious pilgrimage.
Yeah.
You
No.
know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they're finally, I mean, do you remember what it was like when you were 14 years old and you had a favorite band? You felt like you're the one that discovered them. And then you finally get to see them live. I'm not saying that we cried and shit, but I want to tell you something. That's why, right? That's why I went to concerts before Jumbotrons, where it was really just you and them in a room, and wherever your seat was, that was the closest you're ever going to get to your idol. And there's nothing fucking like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the passion involved in finding something that moves you is amazing. It's an amazing experience. And so for some people, what that, you know, they're just chugging along through life, trying to get by, hating their jobs. They want to release. They go see a fantastically well put on show that just blows them away, and maybe they get a little fucked up, you know what I mean? I don't know, but the experience, it makes them go back to work on Monday going, yeah, this sucks, but man, I had a good weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and
Fuck,
when you
that
find
weekend
people,
was something fucking else, you know?
and,
So-
and when you find people who are touched by music to that extent and touched by your music to that extent, you know, it's worth the lifetime of work you've put into your work.
And you know what the tough thing is for the artist? And you guys can relate to this because you're big musicians. You're never going to know about 99% of the weekends that you made great. You're sort of alone and isolated when you're the one in the spotlight. The spotlight isn't warm, it's cold, yo. It looks warm from the right.
Yeah.
And I know I'm being a little metaphorical, but physically, like in reality, a spotlight makes the performer look warm from the audience's point of view, but it's the loneliest fucking place on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loneliest place on earth. And I didn't sing in front of crowds as big as you guys have, but I'm telling you right now, the thing that makes you come back to that guitar or come back to that microphone are the 99% of those people that you influence that you'll never know.
I didn't know what to expect, but this was different.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of like it, to be honest with you. I really do. And that's
It's
a little bit of a change for me, a little bit of a leap, because I usually am into more of like the Korn and Disturbed type bands and bands like that, you know, Static X, Rob Zombie, shit like that. That's what gets me going usually. But this was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, I was kind of taken back a little bit. I was blown away a little bit. I was like, wow, these guys are fucking cool.
Yeah.
All of them, not just the singer. They were all like doing their thing and they were getting into it, and I got into it, and I was like, okay, I can see
well, and when
why
you're
people love this band.
when you're
you
talking
know?
in terms of like how you were just saying earlier, Ralph, about how this is a very classically driven band. It's very classically music oriented. The music was composed. Just, you know, I mean, we write songs and yeah, we know the chord changes and yeah, you learn a solo. But I mean, they just did a 10-minute composition that had stops and flurries to the point where, like Mike said, the fans can follow you note for note what you're going to do. So you better hit those notes dead on, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, so the amount of time and dedication from everybody on that stage, not just to play it well, look the part, but to sit and write it and work it and be able to play it to that level of perfection on stage live. It's fucking inspiring, number one. I'm jealous as hell. Because I would love to know what it feels like to watch that many people at Wacken sing your song back to you.
Oh yeah, and
And what
she was like a
Wacken's a big
stage.
deal too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Whacking is a big deal, and
Yeah.
she was like a stage master.
Yes.
But one of my favorite parts of that song is where she's just going like this, and you think, yeah, she looks so good doing that. She looks good doing every fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
they show the audience, and the audience is all going like that at the same time. I mean, I almost feel like I'm at like a political rally or something. Or,
And
you know what I mean?
that part is literally what got me thinking about it. That scene you're talking about, my brain was like, how fun is that?
How fun is that?
For the musicians, how fun is that? You know?
And you remember when I told you that she makes me feel like I'm in a movie, and sometimes it's not what I'm watching. Actually, it's my imagination, and it's that hybrid that makes such a good band.
Yeah.
I literally, when she does that, I picture her being the queen of some land when all we have are swords, and she's getting us ready for battle. That's almost the way, like she's like this warrior princess who's getting us ready for battle, and I'm thinking I would fucking die for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's giving that speech that gets everybody all pumped up.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
$1 million, and then my wife calls me and says I got to do the fucking dishes, and I come back.
Yeah. You're watching Rocker Reactions. We had a lot of fun today. This is a new band for me, and I'm digging it. I can see why my wife likes it. Mike, thank you for coming on with us, brother. Cody,
Yes, sir.
what's going on, dude? What's
Just
going
living
on?
life, brother. Living the dreams.
Okay.
You know?
Well, let's close it out, bro.
Yeah.
I know you like to make the final statement.
Let's do this.
So,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I absolutely still love Nightwish. It's been a long time since I've listened to him. Michael, thank you for wanting us to do this video. If you guys want us to do more Nightwish, let us know in the comments which songs. We'll get to them. We are going to do more. More content are coming. Go check out our other episodes. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be good humans. Always fucking forward. Peace.
peace.